Good morning, everyone. It's Marianne. I want to ask you is to calm down. I think that's important. Many of you weren't with us the first time that we did this, and it was nerve-wracking for us because our team had been working on this since the summer at that year of 21, and there was only maybe 4,000 or so people in our Facebook page, and today I think we have 25 or 26,000 people. It's a lot now. But the last time, because we were so new, we didn't have the ability to reach all the masses, even though we were trying really hard. It was new. And what happened was we filed our lawsuit in September of 21, and we didn't get that stay until about a month later, okay? The stay being the restraining order on what the city was doing. So right now you're saying, well, where is everybody? Why aren't they on the page? Why aren't they telling us what to do? Well, we're actually building your case. And I know you may not realize what that takes, but it's exhausting. You have all of the attorneys doing their part, and then you have our team speaking to all of you, dealing with all the questions, dealing with your panic and stress, dealing with the affidavits that have to go into the case to be able to substantiate the claims that we're making. So we're building our case. And that way that the briefs that the attorneys write are fully supported. Okay. That process is a huge undertaking because you have affidavits to be done in state that have to follow one set of rules. You have affidavits that are from out-of-state retirees that have to follow another set of rules. We have disabled retirees that don't have the ability to get to a notary or don't know how or can't write their own affidavit, which then we have to do those. Knowing that those could take 45 minutes to an hour, think about how many daylight hours you have to actually do that. And this is why we are up all early morning into the late evening and then fixing everything we can that we couldn't do during the daylight that we could do by ourselves after hours. So it's a lot. And so I just want you to know, even though you're not hearing from us, that doesn't mean we've abandoned you. That means that we are working our behinds off to make sure that the brief that gets filed is the strongest brief possible. So that when the judge looks at it for the restraining order, he grants it and stops this shit from rolling down the hill. So do not stress. We've always said to you, please do your due diligence because we could never tell you how our case will turn out. We can't tell you how the judge will determine this case. And this is why we also have appellate courts, is because the judge could have a bad day or make a mistake and make a bad decision, or you have to then appeal that decision in hope for justice, right? Which is what has happened on the city side. At least the city feels that there was no justice and they're appealing all of their losses. That said, you needed to make sure, we told you, don't pull the trigger yet. Don't do anything yet. Make sure, as in an action, make sure you were doing your homework and finding out if you wanted to waive your city health benefits, because that's the option that they're giving you now, because God bless our former unions that allowed them to do this, that if you chose to waive your city health benefits to remain in traditional Medicare, you would lose your Medicare B reimbursement. You would have to purchase a supplemental plan on the outside. And some of you would lose your welfare fund benefits and or your drug plan, okay? So your due diligence, when we say that, means you have to find out if your union, you would lose your drug plan and or your welfare fund benefits. You already are acknowledging, because we're telling you that you would lose your Medicare B reimbursement. And we're telling you need to find out what the process is and what the cost is in securing a Medicare supplemental plan on the outside. That's for you and your spouse, what that would cost. What is that application process? How long does it take? If you wanted to get out of it, what would that look like? How long would that take? Okay. You know that and this is important, if you choose to waive your benefits from the city to stay in traditional Medicare, you are waiving your benefits to your entire family. They made it this time as painful as they possibly could to force you to either stay in their plan or double their savings by forcing you to waive your benefits and leave. Either way, they win, right? That's why this needs to be stopped. And that's why we need you to figure out what you need to do in case, for whatever reason, we're not successful with the injunction. the restraining order, or this is taking too long, because there's going to be a period of time in June before the deadline, at least 2 weeks before. And this is why I kind of keep saying at about the June 15th mark, that would leave you 2 weeks to make these decisions based upon whatever information you get from your state SHIP office or Medicare, and how long that application process would be for your supplemental plan to be active for September, how long that process would be. We are estimating that we will probably tell you, unless you find out beforehand that you need more time, that around the 15th, we would let you know, all right, we're not hearing from the judge, we're not hearing from the court. Now's the time you need to go ahead and do whatever your plan B option was until we hear further. And even though the last time several people, many people, thousands of people had opted out, the last time the judge stopped everything and said, enough, like, let's slow this thing down and let's look at it. So we're hoping that will happen, again, and let's see where that goes, but you have to know, so that when we say, okay, we're not getting an answer, if this is what you need to do, that's what you need to do. So hang in there. We know this is like you've got Medicare Advantage fatigue. So do we. I wish there was an ability for us to be able to sue our former unions or the MLC for what they have put us through. I'm not quite sure, but maybe just the embarrassment of what they've done, or the national reputation as our former unions sold out former retirees to benefit themselves. Maybe that would be bad enough. You and I, because we are more seasoned labor, we understand what they're doing is not only a detriment to today's retirees, to future workers, but it is also a detriment to the entire labor movement. And that's what probably bothers us the most. And the pain that it would cause some of our families because of the financial situations or health situations that we're in, that these young people today just don't seem to understand. So that said, it's 7 minutes. I want to end this here, and I want to say, hang tight, stay calm, do your homework, and keep sending those emails to City Council and those phone calls to City Council. Keep doing that, because we are still working on litigation and legislation. And we need to be working on that on both sides. Have a great day, guys. Hang in there. We'll talk to you soon.